Just sorry to steal your thunder, Ben. Today was a special day on a number of reasons. Number one, we got to honor the legacy of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi, and then all the other crash victims of that tragic event. And I was very fortunate to be around Kobe during the Olympics in 2008 and 2012, and he's such a cultural icon, especially to our players. Our players were really, they were really hurt by it, and it's unfortunate that so many times in our we as people, it takes a tragedy to make you appreciate things you should appreciate regardless. And so I got my little guy who got his shots up with me, because when he comes to games alone, he's undefeated, is what he reminded me. So you got to enjoy those precious moments. Also want to give a shout out to Jay Crowder and Lazar Hayward in their induction into the Hall of Fame. Talk about two guys that embody, what Marquette basketball is about. Obviously with those two guys, you're talking about two of the best ever to play here, and their induction into the Hall of Fame is an absolute no-brainer, and I'm so happy for them to get that well-deserved honor. Then David Kubion was here as well, and I had the unfortunate pleasure of coaching against him, and he just absolutely put about as good a ballpark pressure on our team's guards at the time as you could. So it was great having three of the Marquette greats back, and I appreciate all the support that the former players have, and I hope they always know that this is home for them, and they're part of our family, even though I didn't coach any one of those three guys. So with that, I'll open up questions.
You guys were just battling back, couldn't quite get over the hump until the last couple minutes. What do you think finally got you guys over the hump?
Well, winning is hard, and winning in the Big East is incredibly hard. And if you just take a snapshot of our league today, do you need any more proof of that? I told our team before the game and then again after the game, you look at DePaul in another league, Power 5 league, Power 6 league, they're a no-brainer NCAA tournament team. It's just that the Big East is that good this year. And the zone, obviously, really, from a basketball standpoint, which is probably what you want me to get to, Ben. So I'll get you your quote, man. So needy. The zone disrupted them. We couldn't keep more out of the paint because he's really good. They put him in a bunch of ball screens, and we were chasing him around and not doing a particularly good job at that. Part of the reason is he's really hard to guard. I thought switching to zone helped us, and we don't do it often, but the times we have done it, it's been pretty effective.
I was going to ask about the zone, but how do you know you've done it, as a curveball here and there? How do you know when's the time to switch it?
Well, when you look up and the team's shooting 57% from the floor and you're 3/4 of the way through the game, time to try something a little bit different. I mean, we've tried to hang our hat on our man defense, but it just wasn't good enough for them today in terms of guarding DePaul. So felt like the zone gave us a better opportunity to win, and fortunately, we won a hard-fought game. We had a lot of guys step up. I don't think anybody was bigger in the win than Jace Johnson. He was awesome, absolutely awesome, and he's been the consummate team player. And if he's not on our team today, the locker room, the mood of the locker room is a heck of a lot different. I can hear you.
I know. Coach, last 3 games decided by 4 points or less. 8 games left. It feels like the halfway mark. But what do you take away from those 3 tough games? Do you see promise, or do you see ugly wins that you guys need to work on?
Winning is hard. I don't think I ever see an ugly win. That's for other people to decide what's ugly and what's not. Winning to me is beautiful, no matter how it's done. And our team has showed incredible guts and resiliency. And in the Big East, you're going to be in close games. I mean, you're going to be in 1 or 2 possession games, and you're going to win some of them, and you're going to lose some of them. And that's how thin the margin for error is. So that's not surprising. I think we have 8 games left. I'd be shocked if any of those 8 games are anything but a 1 or 2 possession game down to the wire.
Marcus obviously had to wear the mask today. Was there anything broken in his face, and then how did you guys go about having to decide if he was going to play today?
Well, the decision in terms of whether one of our guys plays comes from the doctors, the trainers, the player, and the player's family. And I respond to their decisions because they're the experts. He wore the mask to protect his nose because he took a big shot in it. But, without his threes in the first half, it's not a 2-possession game going into the second half. Fortunately, in the second half, we moved the ball a lot better. I thought we made them play side to side defensively. We drove more. We did not drive at all in the first half, which is not what we had planned. We fell in love a little bit too much with the 3-point shot. But, you got to give Marcus credit. I mean, he took a shot and a half at Xavier and hasn't been able to do pretty much anything, really. And comes out and has 23 points and 4 assists and 2 turnovers. And his numbers never reflect his true impact on the game because of what teams try to do to game plan for him. So, the masked man, I'd take him on my side every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Kobe seemed to be seeking contact, and, he's a good free throw shooter. What did you think of his aggressiveness, especially down the stretch?
Loved it. I mean, it hurt us not having him. He played 3 minutes in the first half. And Kobe's one of our best downhill players. He's also a very underrated but terrific defensive player. And sometimes his aggressiveness puts him in situations where he gets fouls, but he draws a ton of fouls. I think he drew 10 fouls today. At the end of the game, when he walks to the line, you don't see anything but wanting to be there. And, he had, again, crucial shots for us. And having him play as much as he did in the second half, 16 out of the 20 minutes, was a big factor in us winning. The other thing when you have a guy who gets fouled a lot is it puts you in the 1-on-1. So when other guys get fouled and get to go to the free throw line, you don't get an assist. But without you drawing those fouls, they ain't at the free throw line. So it's a small thing that's a big thing.
Good. Thank you.
Good job. How was the water? Some mighty fine H2O.